Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. We're all set to bring you a terrific contest here as these two divisional rivals renew acquaintances for the first time this season. There's always a little something extra at stake when these teams face off. It's the Buccaneers going up against the Saints. So with kickoff straight ahead, we'll check in with our broadcast team. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you very much, Larry. As usual, the streets of the nearby French Quarter are alive as we are in downtown New Orleans at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the New Orleans Saints. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Saints team as they enter play. They've been buoyed by getting 2 home games right at the start, and they come off a good victory in week 1.
And going back through the tape, I thought they looked pretty good last week. It was a solid win, a comprehensive win.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Bucs, they come into this one after a loss in the opener, and they're in for another tough test here.
And what a battle for an organization to look at your schedule and see 2 road games to start the season and not have a letdown immediately. You got to fight against that. They've got to come out ready to play.
Come out here in the eye. And a first carry of the game here for Trey Mason. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Let's go! On the ground again, it's Mason. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
They'll run here with Mason. And he'll be tackled right on the midfield logo. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Not too many more ideal situations at 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. Here's carry number 1 for Kenneth Dixon. It's a foot race. Kenneth Dixon. Touchdown, New Orleans. Kenneth Dixon, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Saints have taken the early lead. You talk about explosion plays. There's one pretty much right out of the gate.
And now they get to ride a wave of emotion, momentum, everything. Just as you described, right out of the gate, big sprint, touchdown. They're excited. But on the other side, they've got to guard against a major letdown because they hit them right in the gut with that one. And now you start to question yourself a little bit when you give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
They come out here in the eye. Here's the first carry for Kenyon Drake. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. A gain of 3, second down. And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. Right back to Drake. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with third down coming up.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
And they'll run him here. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
And a big face mask penalty here, 15 yards.
You never want to get your hands up in the face mask area because your fingers can get tangled up there, and that can hurt you as a player.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Second down, 9 yards to go. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is going to lose yardage here. That'll go as a loss of 5. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
3rd and long for Winston. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. A good pickup there, a 22.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game. The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did. They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second, it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a first down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, but the net gain, 3 points.
And you're going to have drives like that in this league. Sometimes you just got to take the 3 and move on. Always better than nothing.
This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Saints coming out now to take the field. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the number one thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action, now's the time to take a shot. Yeah. But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. He would have kept it on the ground.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Encroachment, defense. Still second down.
They'll run again with Mason. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard. And this defense looks for one more stop here on 3rd after the run. Now Mason. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Just a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that'll give them a first.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know, the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a first down.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's got a man complete. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Finding time. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And this is going to be incomplete. The intended receiver was Trey Mason, and that brings up 4th down. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it. The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've hit the end of quarter 1. 7-3 the score. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Bucs in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter. They're facing a tough spot, 3rd and 8 here to start things out. On 3rd down, Winston. A bullet throw, but incomplete. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. And 4th down coming up. On 4th down, the Bucs will call on Anger. Brian Anger to punt it away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Get a little closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him. Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
Looking to throw. He's got time. Rashard Matthews here on the catch. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Now they run. It's Mason. He'll get 3 up to midfield. Denzel Perryman there to bring him down.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. 1st level defensive line, 2nd level linebackers, 3rd level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a 1st level run, and it was stopped by a 2nd level player.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first.
Everything about that play was beautiful. A great corner route where the receiver worked the defensive back inside and then broke back to the outside to the corner. But how about the throw by the quarterback? Anticipation on the break from inside to outside. He threw the football. As the receiver turned around, the ball greeted him.
A dump off for Mason. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Give him 11 on the gain there. And that leads to a New Orleans 1st down. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Not a lot of dance steps in that run. That's much more like being that bowling ball, just going down and scattering some pins, breaking through contact, breaking through tackles, and he knows how to finish a run.
Mason. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, that run wasn't very successful. They did have a big one on the previous play. So you get the sense that the offense is probing around, trying to find the ones that are going to work. And when they find them, they'll keep coming back to them.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Brandon, there's no doubt the defense has to be excited after stacking up back-to-back running plays. But I still remember my old coaches saying, after you've had some success, you better be careful. They might have an answer for you. So make sure you watch your keys, play your techniques, and don't get overconfident.
Out of the gun now on third down. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's fourth down. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. A 33-yarder from the left hash.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
That's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down inbounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
And a cutback, right sideline. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Coach hinted to us that we may see some old power football here in this game. We got a taste of it on that first down run.
I love how he hinted it to us, and then when we were watching practice, we were watching what they call inside drill, the offensive and defensive line, and they kept putting more defenders on the other side and saying, block that. I don't care how many guys are in there. I want to run the football this week, and boy, it has paid off for them in this game.
And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
Jameis to throw it. And complete to Lewis over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
But I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game. And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
They come up in an offset eye. And on the ground they go with a running back. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. And if you're the defense and those D tackles, you like that they're trying to run the football here against your 4-3, don't you?
Yeah, because they tend to eat things up because they are so strong and physical, and especially when they play with leverage where they get lower than the offensive linemen and control them. And what I love about the good defensive tackles, they can play over the guards, they can slide and play over the center. Nobody in the offense likes that day when they have to deal with those guys.
So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point, you've got to win at the point of attack. And on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on third down. They'll come out in the pistol. To throw is Winston. And trying to get it to his tight end, Rodgers, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And last time they were able to churn some clock. They got the field goal, added onto their lead, but that was a drive that was so long, it should have ended in a touchdown. You know that's how they felt.
And we'll both be headed to the airport after the game. but we probably should go to the post-game press conference because someone's going to ask the head coach about this drive, and he's going to profess that he was happy to get points, and we know that's not true. Okay, after this type of a drive, not getting a touchdown, a huge disappointment. Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. On third down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. So a minute 55 to go in the first half. We're back to New Orleans after this. Now the veteran punter for the Saints, Thomas Morstead, on to punt on fourth down. And he'll take it on this side of midfield. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Buccaneer offense will be set up well as they take over. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? To throw, Winston. Complete left side, the tight end Rodgers. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second in just about a few inches here.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Kenyon Drake, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Buccaneers are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. But they look.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They'll look to throw here. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. And welcome back, the offensive unit. They took the timeout. And now they get set to line up as we resume action. Now a play fake here on first down. Looking sideline, incomplete. Brandon Cooks, the receiver he was going after. And that'll bring up second down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. And second and 10, he'll look to throw again. He's got time in the pocket. It's complete. Fleener, right side. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Second down now after the pass completion.
Hey. We got three. Kill.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. It'll be a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up a third down. They're going to hurry back to the line now. And he spikes it to stop the clock, and now if they choose, they'll have a chance at maybe a long field goal try here just before the break. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. So that would have been something. And actually, Larry, hold that thought. We're right back to the action. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Well, now they'll try the end around. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
For that kind of run on first down, that's a winning type of a run. That just sets things up for them moving forward as they begin the drive.
On second down, it's Drake. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature.
And trying to get it to his tight end, Rodgers, and it's intercepted. The linebacker, Stephon Anthony with a pick. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days. One thing that's really difficult for an offense is often identifying how to block a 3-4 defense. Well, when they're coming on a blitz, even more difficult. They're elusive targets and hard to hit.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't, and a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to end up with a nickname after something like that, some Big Jelly or something like that.
And it's hard to hold a kick from this distance against him, but that is now 3 misses for him in the game so far.
3! And you wonder where his head's at right now. Kickers are a funny breed, but I have a feeling he'd love to see a 29-yarder next time to get him back in the groove.
Over the middle, Rodgers has it. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him. When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Second down and 4. Second down, Winston. He'll set up the screen to Drake. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's third down.
So many screen passes are the result of excellent acting by everyone. But sometimes the guy who's getting the ball tips the play off. The running back, because he's eager to get the pass, and sometimes he doesn't act very well about whether he's going to block or leak out or whatever. And I think that they saw that, and that's why they're able to get to him on it.
Again, we'll see the pistol here. They go play action. Winston. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Well, pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
So he splits the uprights there, and I would imagine it's nice as a kicker. Right when it leaves your foot, you know it's good.
Yeah, it's kind of like a golfer that picks up his tee after a nice drive without even watching it land.
Solid analogy. I like it. This fielded at the 2. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. They'll come out throwing here on first down. And Matthews over the middle with a grab. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does, where a quarterback has to slide and find open space to throw. I don't care what the emphasis is in the NFL at any given time. Every defense is still going to say their number one goal every game is stop the run. And right now, they're not doing that, and that really chips away at your confidence.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front, because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
All right, here we go.
On 3rd down, here's Dixon. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
Looking at this play from the running back's perspective, as it developed, I know he had to think to himself, oh no, here they come.
Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And that is was much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. We get a look at the Saints defense as they file into position. They're hoping to keep this margin right where it is, trailing third quarter. Don't want to get down anymore.
You're exactly right. They're in no position to give up any more points. They have to keep it in a spot where if their offense does catch a spark and get hot, they've got a chance to come back and win this game.
I guess the word manageable, you always want to keep it manageable, right?
Make sure that the game doesn't get away, and mentally you look up at the scoreboard and say, there's no chance of us coming back.
He was looking for his tight end, Richard Rodgers, that time. And it's second down.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target, and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
On 3rd down, Winston. Open man, the tight end Rodgers. And they get 10 yards there and convert on 3rd.
And Richard Rodgers makes the grab, and let's face it, it's going to follow him the rest of his career. The Hail Mary he caught to beat the Lions in 2015 in Detroit, pretty memorable play.
Those Lions fans, they just don't like you right now if they heard that.
I didn't mean to bring it up to, pull the Band-Aid off the...
And Winston lost the football. Skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. They don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll power his way up near the 25. Give him 4 yards there, but still in a big hole, 3rd and long.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
They give them 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion. Three-quarter back now here on EA Sports. It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. Jameis now on 1st down. Flushed out right. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. They come out here in the eye. Now Drake. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
It's just smart football, but the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Jameis to throw it. And Winston lost the football. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
Now this is going to work out well as it's out of bounds near the 13-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And last time out they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up. But you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over.
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. Wow, now we got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it. I don't know whether I want to be a fly on the wall or not when they hear the explanation of how one of the bigger targets on the field, the tight end can be that wide open and uncovered downfield. Who blew that assignment?
Somebody did.
No doubt about it. There's no way you're not going to account for him.
A dump off for Mason. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it a second down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
They'll give it to him right up the gut, and he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. So 3rd and inches, trying to pick it up the middle. He had nowhere to go, tackled for a loss.
And you know how we talk about double A-gap pressure, meaning linebackers going in the gap between the center and the guard on either side? Well, it's not always to get to the passer. Sometimes you do that to prevent a running play. Worked pretty well in that situation. You know what? Now and then it pays to take chances in this league. You can't play everything by the book. You're on your own side of the 50, but all you need is a few short yards. And they're able to convert to keep the drive going.
So it'll be first down here after the run. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Back to throw now on first down. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
And when an offense is doing a nice job selling the play-action pass, a lot of responsibility shifts to the linebackers. They're the ones that have to determine run or pass and get to the proper places on the field.
Green 39! Green 39!
On first down, he'll drop to throw. A dump off for Dixon. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
They'll set up a throw. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Their dangerous wide receiver. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Saints have moved down in front here in the 4th quarter. And he puts it through. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever. There it results in a touchdown. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time with just punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football, comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth. They'll run with Drake, and he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Here's Winston. Over the middle, it's complete. And he's brought down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Winston now to throw on first down. They'll set up the screen to Drake. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're either throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open. Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
And the offense looks to pick up the first here on 3rd after that incompletion. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. 3rd and long for Winston. Going for the deep ball. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. All right, so this one's now back within a field goal, and if anybody tells you they see how this one's going to end, I'd have to say they're probably lying, Charles.
And this game's had more twists and turns than a good mystery novel, and I have a feeling we've got a few more twists and turns in store for us before they shake hands here.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. It looked like he might have had a window there, but the rhythm was just a little bit off.
It certainly was, because everything that has to come together to get a pass completed, yeah, you're right. The sync just wasn't there.
And he'll take it just outside the 40. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down the wire. complete left side, the tight end Rodgers. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
If you're a defender, one of the fun things about playing zone defenses, especially in today's football, is that it's not as static as it was in the good old days, meaning you just drop to a point and react into the football. Now you end up with a lot of man-to-man principles once you get into your zone defense. In other words,
now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. And he fires one, but incomplete. The intended receiver there, Kenyon Drake. And that brings up 4th down.
One of the best routes, one of the favorite routes of any play caller. He just ran that one. Nice little angle route. That's supposed to be a catch, and usually it is, and the running back dropped it.
Yeah, I mean, he's a running back, but he's got hands. He should have caught it. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. And, Charles, you talk about a big kick under pressure in the 4th quarter. That wasn't like a 33-yarder. That was a long-distance kick.
Brandon, it shows you the faith that this coaching staff has in their kicker. You're right. If this goes wrong, you're going to give up the ball near midfield. But that was an absolute rainmaker, and it's going to give them a late lead.
The Buccaneers defense, we watch them get set to go. And everything's going to rest on this drive. Can they keep them out of field goal range? Because a field goal would win it.
So now you're in that position of you can't just back off and give them easy throws. At the same time, you don't want to press them so hard they go over the top and beat you deep. So you're playing a tight defense with an idea that you have the lead. Whatever you do, don't let them in the field goal range and give that up.
Maybe tight, but not too tight. Right?
Exactly. I mean, it's perfect, right? It's kind of like lacing up your shoes. Get it exactly right and no more.
See if they lace them right. And Cooks has it over the middle. Yards left for the offense. It's 2nd down.
Hey, you're on an island over there. You're on an island. Now let's go. Blue line it. Blue line.
They'll look to throw. And he's got it over the middle. Fleener. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. And now they're in the hurry-up. He's back to throw. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
We got 3, fellas. We got 3. All right, here we go. 3, 19.
And he'll give it here to his running back. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow. How many practices we watched over time where the offense works on scoring late in the game and finding a way to win, as we just saw there.
Just saw it right there. Now can they preserve that advantage that they just got? And no, it's incomplete. So they can't convert for 2, but they still have the lead as we get toward the end of the 4th. So the inability there to get the 2-point conversion sort of leaves the door at least a little bit more ajar.
And puts the onus now on the kickoff team and the defense to make sure they don't give up a big play that puts them in position to lose.
Especially on this kickoff. Got to be careful. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. 1 possession game. Time very much a factor. how does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Back to throw. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. So the offense has it 1st and 10. Back to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. A good convergence there defensively. Only a yard, and it's 2nd down. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. Well, Charles, they were close in the end, but they couldn't get that last play, that last little miracle play done. They were within striking distance, but couldn't find a way to score.
They definitely had hope. They definitely had opportunity. Just unable to cash in at the end. Not an easy play by any stretch, but they definitely had a chance.
So for New Orleans, they used a favorable early schedule to their advantage as they move to 2-0. And they will hit the road next week. Meanwhile, for Tampa Bay, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll have a tough one at home next week against the Denver Broncos. So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so.